everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. We are the Church of Evolutionary Love, where our mission is what Barbara Marx Hubbard and Dr. Mark Goffney call a planetary awakening in love through a unique self-symphony. And together, we declare that the last day of the old face of evolution is honored as the first day of the new face of creation. Welcome, everyone. I'm Christina Amelong, the Executive Creative Director of Evolutionary Church, and I am uniquely allured to be here in this planetary awakening. I welcome all the new people. Welcome, welcome, and please do share that you are new in the chat box. We would love to reach out to you, to hear from you, to welcome you. And when you do chat, and this is for everyone, please do chat by checking that your settings are set to all panelists and attendees and not just all panelists. Use that chat function to say hello, to let us know where you're from, and to resonate the Dharma. I see that Diego and Colleen and Krista and Claire are here, so welcome everyone. In Evolutionary Church, we are connected, we are whole, and we're expressions of the entire process of creation. We are activating a new humanity, and we are awakening as a new species, Homo Amor. We are a church, a mosque, a temple, a zendo. We're all of it. No one is excluded. Everyone is included. And we come together to attune to the evolutionary impulse awakening within us. Welcome home, everyone. We're so delighted to be with you here today in week 166 of Evolutionary Church. And know that as of the new year, we are switching to Sundays, so be prepared for that. And what an amazing church work table we had last Tuesday. If you're interested, contact me. If Kirsten could put my email in the chat box, that would be great. And we're also asking for your unique version of Amor to rotate with Moses recording. So let me know if you need any help making that happen. And do spread the word. We're primarily doing this through word of mouth. As Barbara talks about, each of us having a family of 10 here in church. I love that idea. Each of us tending our evolutionary family. On YouTube, we are the Church of Evolutionary Love, and we keep our replays there. So make sure you're subscribed to YouTube, and on Facebook, facebook.com/evolutionary church. And right now you can take an action by going to your notifications and seeing that church is live and sharing that on your Facebook page. That will be great. After church, we'll send you an email, so invite your friends. And with that, I give you a little bit of what to expect over this next hour. We begin with the Dharma recap, pulling together the core memes that Dr. Mark Goffney and Barbara Marx Hubbard shared during the week before. And then Dr. Mark sets our intention, and then David will resonate the code we are working with. After that, we move into prayer, followed by our sermons for the day. And we bring everyone on at the top of the hour for our goodbyes. The Dharma recap is from Dr. Mark and Barbara from the past week's church, as they, and my Word document just shut down, guys, so I have to pull it up again. And so here we are in church, and I've had a technical problem. So please, somebody help me out here. And yeah, just a minute. Oh, we are back. Okay. No, we're not. Mark, you, okay.
Oh my God, Christina Amelon, we are having a little technical problem here.
We are. So I'm going to go right into the Dharma recap because I got, well, here, I'm here. So our formal name, One Church, Many Paths, One Mountain, is radically committed to telling the new story. So here goes our Dharma recap from last week.
And Christina Amelon, take a breath for a second. Take a breath. So isn't it awesome, friends, when we have technical problems? Technical problems are so great, right? Because life is so filled with technical problems. We just breathe, right? The grace comes in, the good Lord comes down on the mountain. So as Christina Amelon's taking her breath and getting ready to blow us open with the Dharma recapitulation, right, from last week, I just want to remind everyone, big, huge news. We are relaunching church right after the first of the year. We're going to be sending out a series of emails to actually our entire list, Barbara's list, and the Foundation for Conscious Evolution and the Center and the entire church list. We'll be sending out probably, 8, 9 emails with, little gifts and invitations, and letting everyone know that we're moving church from Saturday to Sunday. We're relaunching, right, the new website, but this is actually the next step, right, of the revolution. Right? This is the next step of the revolution in love, which is the shifting of the source code at this moment between dystopia and utopia, and this move of transition. Let's make this together. So I want to really ask everyone, we're going to give you the exact time. We're collating the last polls of when it's best for everyone. It'll be either 9, 10, or 11 o'clock on Sunday morning. We want people to be able to go to other churches at the same time if they do, but we want to hold our whole European contingent. So it's probably either 9 or 10 Sunday morning. And we really want to ask everyone to make, just like bottom of like our mad open hearts. This is the revolution. This is the place. It's not a local church. This is the model for the planetary awakening and love through Unique Self Symphony. This is the place that model lives, right? So I want to just ask everyone to look at your calendar really carefully and try and work it out. Like make the effort to work it out, pour your love, so we can all kind of so gently, so easily, so gorgeously make this a priority, right? And launch gorgeously in January so we can literally take the next step in the revolution. So now that Christina Amelon is just so breathed and ready to blow us open, that's our little announcement for our sponsor. Oh my God, welcome. Good morning, Christina Amelon. I turn the word to you, beloved. Take us inside.
All right, thank you, Dr. Mark. So here I go with the Dharma recap. To begin, to become not merely a Homo sapien, but the fulfillment of Homo sapien in Homo Amor. So what are the characteristics of Homo Amor? We understand that at this moment in history, we stand literally poised between a potential utopia, a heaven on earth in which every human being gives their unique gift, in which we all feel each other, and in which we actually begin to realize the true nature of the intimate universe. We understand we can go the whole way in this lifetime, and we imagine what the whole way looks like. We understand that evolution itself is shifting its evolutionary path from that which could destroy life to this new path where crisis is the birth of a new humanity. We have to be prepared for radical newness. We understand that the new humanity is when you can meet anyone in the world and instantly become best friends, wherever it is in the world. An instant conversation can become deeply intimate and close with anyone else in the world. We understand that that which unites us is so much greater than that which divides us, and the separations of culture, nationality, language are all actually surface features. We understand that in the depth structure of our being, we live with an interbeingness with each other as human beings. We even extend beyond that human beings, live in interbeingness with other human beings, but that human beings live in interbeingness with all of reality itself, with every plant, with every animal, with all the world. Evolution is intimacy. Evolution creates newness through intimacy, through connecting separate parts together to make a new whole. Reality aggregates to form a larger whole, moved by its own inherent allurement experiences, whose experiences are pleasure, which begin at the quantum level, what we might call a quantum hedonism that drives reality. The new religion of love, talking about pleasure as ethics. And with that, I invite us to more deeply enter into the holy and sacred space of Evolutionary Church. And I turn the word to you, beloved Dr. Mark.
Oh my God. And let's just, I want to kind of take care of everybody's eyes. So Christina was calling me and saying, oh my God, your background's so bad. People have to look at that. So I hope that's better. I hope we've done better there, right? So let me know. Fantastic. Okay, we're working on all our church tech, and we're going to put some, we're going to put some energy into up-leveling the whole tech. And as we kind of put together the funds and we take it the next step, it'll be gorgeous. But really what church is about is, right? Church is about, right, our hearts poured open, right, in mad love, right? Church is about our hearts poured open in mad love and knowing that that mad love is not just what lives in us, right? It's not just the personal local love, right? That is who we are, but it's actually the outrageous love. It's the evolutionary love that animates and drives all of reality itself, awakening uniquely in me. Now stay with me the next step. And that love, right? That love, that godness is itself the leading edge of evolution. And as the leading evolution, I have unique, outrageous acts of love to commit, right? I'm an irreducibly unique expression of the love intelligence. I come together, I join, let's join hands, literally. Let's put our hands, let's join hands around the world. Unique selves, evolutionary unique selves, meaning unique selves living in an evolutionary context. Hands joined together in a bottom-up, self-organizing universe, right? As unique expressions of a self-actualizing cosmos that's moving towards the evolution of love. That reality, and behind every word and every sentence I just said, is worlds of Dharma that we've unfolded, which is the new story, which is the new testament. It's a testifying, right, to the true nature of reality. But it's not a declaration. It's not a new age claim. It's not a fundamentalist dogma. It's the new information of the interior and the exterior sciences brought together in this explosion of hope, which is the memory of the future, which is the new story, which is the shared vision and narrative of humanity. We're going to talk about what that means in terms of power today, right? But I just want to get this with you. This is so deep. It's so profound. So if you just get with me, if you can, we're setting our intention, right? Just get with me like the next minute, okay? So can we together, everyone? Are we hands joined, right? Around the world, are we together? Are we together? I'm just asking the chat box. Are we together? Friends, are we together? Are we together for real? Like for real, are we together? Like we're madly, wildly together, hands joined, right? Hands joined. Let's just see if we can write just hands joined, hands joined, hands joined around the world. Right, we're literally circling the globe with our hands joined. We can feel each other's hands. We push through the virtual space, and I can literally feel, right, Oriana, right? There's Oriana, right? There's Christine Glenn. There's Terry, right? There's Don Pett, right? Right there. Wow, Gare, there you are, right? Oots, right? Christina, right? Claire, right? Shot, right? Suzette, right? David, right? Where our hands are joined. Yes, around the world, brother, right? Around the world. AJ Weissman, right? Hands joined. Right? We are the evolution of love. And here's the Dharma. This is a crazy Dharma, right? We've never said it this way in public before. So I want to say this, and till we really get this, there's three views in the world. And when we join hands, our hearts explode. So here's the three views of the world. One view is the mainstream view, not of science, but of the dogmas of science, which says there is no story. There's just random chance facts. That's not based on scientific evidence. That's based on a dogma of science that rebelled against the old religion. That's what I'm going to call the physicalist, materialist view. Love's not real. Loyalty's not real. Values aren't real. There's just free random facts. There's no story at all. That's the physicalist, materialist, no story view of the universe, which dominates, right, as a de facto wrong assumption and dogma in the fundamentalism of the secular world. That's one. The second view is what I'm going to call the symbolic metaphor view, which is most religions have a symbolic metaphor view, meaning this world's not where the real action is. There's the world to come, or there's pure consciousness underneath this world, or there's eternity, right? But this world's a place where you're judged. It's a place where you're formed. You might even be ethically formed. Your soul is refined. But this world is not the real world. This is the world that's the made up stage, right? Nothing ever new happens in this world. This is the place where you get to develop, to get your reward. You get to manifest, move beyond your story, get to pure consciousness, or get to heaven, right? Whatever the move is. That's religion. That's the symbolic metaphor view of the world that people like Jung pick up as the major view. Does everyone get this? But actually, neither of those are the best information of the interior and the exterior sciences. There's actually a new emergent understanding. And that's what we're going to call the narrative view of reality, right? It's reality is a story. That's the new realization. Reality is not just a fact, right? It's not just a set of chance facts that we aggregate. It's not that, Nathan, you get it? It's not just a symbolic metaphor. Reality itself is actually a divine story. It's a story in which there's more God to come. Can everyone write that in the chat box? I want to get you that word. It's more God to come, right? Meaning newness, more God to come. Newness happens, right? There's actually a story, an evolutionary story, which is the God story, right? Evolution says reality is not a fact, it's a story. And in that story, there's more God to come. So stay with me. This is so wild. This is so gorgeous. This is so beautiful. Just blow your heart like wide open. Then David, you're going to resonate the code, because we're going to talk about the role of power in this story. But first, let's get it. This is what we're saying. We're saying there's a cosmic story, and actually, right, there's a thread, right? There's a thread. There's cosmological evolution, the great flaring forth, which aggregates, right? Reality coalesces, molecules, atoms coalesce in love, in allurement to larger wholes. And then we get to biological evolution, in which there's a deepening and intensification of intimacy, right? And we come to this new level of life, and then cells aggregate, right, and coalesce to larger wholes, right? And all along, there's more and more love. There's more and more consciousness. There's more and more creativity. We get to cultural evolution, where hominids walking on the savannah, right, awaken, and they create larger circles of love and empathy and shared felt care and concern, right? So that's that, right? It's the next level, right? That's cultural evolution, social, right? Spiritual evolution on the human level. And then on the human level, right, there's these levels of consciousness as evolution moves towards the long arc of evolution, towards an evolution of love. We move from egocentric to ethnocentric to world-centric to cosmocentric intimacy. Right? So what do we just told? We just told a story. Does everyone get that? That story that we take as a given here in church, it's part of our field and language, right? We got to tell that story, right? Reality is not a fact, it's a story. It's not an ordinary story, it's a love story. It's not an ordinary love story, it's an outrageous love story. And it's a story, the plot line of the story is the evolution of love. And the subplot lines of the story are more and more uniqueness and more creativity and more empathos, right? And more wholeness, right? And more aliveness, right? Right? Wow. Right? Oh my God. And in the church, right? The church is, does everyone get this? The church is the expression, right? The one church, the one synagogue, right? The one mosque, the one secular humanist center. And we're intentionally using the word church because we want to go into the resistance to that. We want to overcome it and transmute it and transform it and reclaim religion at a higher level and unfold in this one church, many paths, one mountain, right, towards a new politics of love, right, reclaiming love as religion and bringing together politics and religion again, right, not in this our religion owns the church or owns the state or our church owns the state, but actually politics has to be a politics of love. And a politics of love is not this new age vague idea, and it's not a fundamentalist idea of just our particular version of love. It's that it's the universe is a love story. And I, as an evolutionary unique self, right, Christina Amlon, Kirsten Zohar, right, Oriana, right, Gare, right, AJ Weissman, Nathan, right? Nathan is God having a Nathan experience. And Nathan's leading edge when he clarifies his desires become Nathan's deepest heart's desire is God's desire. And Nathan has a contribution, right? A gift to give to the evolution of love. Nathan is the leading edge of evolution, that no one that ever was, is, or will be. Jacqueline is the leading edge of evolution. Every love letter she writes, every outrageous love letter, right, changes the course of reality. Linda, right, is the leading edge of evolution. Simona is, right? And Krista's deepest heart's desire, her clarified heart's desire, not my ego's heart's desire, not my grasping. When I clarify my desire, I find my deepest heart's desire. That is, right, God's heart's desire. So you know what this planetary awakening and love through unique self symphony is? It's 1 billion heart's desires. It's 1 billion deepest heart's desires. You know, they say that the internet and pornography, there's a book out called 1 Billion Wicked Thoughts, right? So let's transform the pornographic universe into the erotic universe, the cosmo-erotic universe, where there's 1 billion gorgeously wicked, holy thoughts of deepest heart's desire, right? All the way up and all the way down. And that desire is burning. That desire is pulsing. That desire is tumescent. That desire is alive, and it's desire to love it open as a unique self symphony, knowing that my unique gift is desperately needed, knowing that I was intended, and I was intended by all that is. I was chosen by all that is, right? I am needed by all that is. I am recognized by all that is. I am desired, love adored by all that is. And that's the truth of my reality. Right? That's our intention in church. Like, oh my God. And oh my God, did we get that? Right? We're not making this as an arrogant claim, right? Like mad Steve, right? Mad humility, right? Right? Humility means we're transparent to the divine force, right? We're audacious and fierce, and we're trembling before Goddess. We're gentle and tender, and we're claiming for she, right? A new possibility. The alternative is dystopia. The alternative is Blade Runner. The alternative is Hunger Games. The alternative is a gap between the have and have-nots. The alternative is the 1 million suicides we have a year now, right? The 4 million attempted suicides, and the 100 million people thinking about suicide, right? And the 1 billion people, right, madly devastated and broken, right? And 7 billion people, most of whom are searching desperately for happiness in all the wrong places. We're creating a leading edge, right? We are together, right? The new Christ. We are together the new Buddha. We are together, right? The new godness. We are together the new human and the new humanity. But the new human and the new humanity, right, is the fulfillment of the evolution of love. Homo sapien fulfills herself. Homo sapien fulfills himself in Homo Amor. We are Homo Amor rising. Right? That's who we are. We are Homo Amor rising, right, in the evolution of love. Right? So that's our intention. Wow. Right? Wow. I mean, what a privilege to be here. Right? What a privilege to be here. Right? Oh my God. So David, it's such an honor to turn the word to you to resonate our code. Amen.
Oh, thank you so much, Dr. Mark. That was beautiful. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So in this spaciousness, in this big context that Mark so beautifully outlined, in this big love story as God having a unique experience, let's find our relationship to power right now in our bodies, in our experiences, as I resonate this code. This week's code. Our narrative of power is directly emergent from our narrative of identity, which is directly emergent from our universe story. Power is a divine elixir, nectar, not poison. There are 3 forms of power. The first 2 forms of power are power over and power for. Contrary to the popular understanding of power, which deifies power for and demonizes power over, both forms of power are holy. The third form of power is the power of transformation, the power of transformation. All 3 forms of power are inextricably linked, inextricable from each other. The 3 faces of the one. And with that, I turn my word back to you, Dr. Mark.
Thank you, brother. Power, right? So our theme this week that Barbara's going to talk about, that I'm going to talk about, right, is power, the place of power. And we're so afraid of power, aren't we? We're so afraid of power. So our theme for this weekend, we're going to turn to Mosa. We're going to turn to Amor. Amor says its insides are aligned with love. Right? That's a verse actually from Solomon. And now the new information of the sciences validates this eros that drives the cosmos. Its insides are aligned with love, comes from the Song of Solomon. But Jimi Hendrix, do we love Jimi Hendrix? Let's go for the chat box. How many people, right, have, even if you were born way after Jimi Hendrix, have you watched Jimi Hendrix anyplace? Oh my God, Star Spangled Banner, like Woodstock, Jimi Hendrix. And we can be conservatives or liberals, but Jimi Hendrix is right, transcends all worlds. Let's have it up for Jimi Hendrix. We got Jimi Hendrix here? Jimi Hendrix, yes. Yes, Jimmy. And Jimmy, we're tragic. It's a tragedy that you died at age 26, Jimmy. That's such a tragedy because you had this explosion of love, right? But you didn't have a vessel. You didn't have a container to hold the love, right? So it was too much. Does everyone get that? So Jimi Hendrix, like, wow, he's got this love pouring through him, but he didn't have a dharma of love. One of the things that Hendrix said, he said, when the power of love, right, blows away and exceeds the love of power, then we're going to have a new world. So Jimmy, I love you madly, man, and your guitar is part of my God, but you got this one wrong. Jimi Hendrix set up an opposition between love and power. But love and power are included, right? We actually have to love power, right? And power is actually part of the quality of love. And we're going to talk about distinctions between different parts of power and different kinds of power. But actually, homo amor has to be power hungry, right? Not for, as we're going to see, not for abusive power, but let's talk about what it means as homo amor to be power hungry in the most gorgeous, sacred, stunning way. The inside of amor is power. Love's not weak. My dear friend John Mackey, who's the chairman of Whole Foods, was the chairman of the center for a whole bunch of years, right? The first thing John said to me when we fell in love is, he said, Mark, like, I get what you're saying because love's not weak, love is strong. Love is the most powerful force in the world. Amor, Mosa, take us inside. Amor, yes.
Amor, 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 amor. Amor, 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 amor.
Write amor into the chat box. Let's hear amor. Around the world, amor. Amor. Amor, Zohar, Amor, Krista, Inika, Jacqueline, Linda, Elba, yes, amor, amor, Mosa, amor. And we head into prayer, friends. And what is prayer? Prayer is the realization that God, right, is not only, right, the third person force of cosmos that the New Age likes to talk about, and it's beautiful, right? God is the force of cosmos, beautiful. And Spinoza, right, starts with Spinoza. Spinoza got God as this force of cosmos. God is everywhere and everything and inherent in everything, and nothing is not God. And the great mystics understood that every stone, every tree, right? Eitzim va'avanim elahut mamash, right? Every tree and stone is literally divine, which means that it's held together by the power of divine allurement, eros, electromagnetism, gravity, the strong and the weak nuclear, right? That which creates matter. All of it is allurement, which is God love. Did you ever get what we just said? If you get those last two sentences, that's a huge, it's a huge leap in the Dharma. What we're saying is that the bonds that hold reality together, those are bounds of outrageous love. That is actually the God force inherent in everything. That's God in the third person. And that God lives in me. Tattvam asi, thou art that. That God lives in me. That's alive in me. That love is alive in me. But not just, that's the third person and the first person of God. We talk here about what the great traditions call ata. Ata, you. Right? That's the second person. That's the God who knows my name and loves me madly. Now here's the Dharma. Right? And it's so beautiful. That's not Santa Claus in the sky. Right? And mad love. Hey, Santa, mad love. Okay, Santa Claus, yes. But it's not Santa Claus. It's not a mythical Santa Claus. It's the infinity of personhood. That's what we call it here. Right? God is the infinity of personhood. God is supra-personal. Right? God is the personal, not before the impersonal. The Buddhists say, move beyond the personal to the impersonal, which is beautiful, which is the third person of the divine. But you got to move beyond the impersonal to the personal plus, to the supra-personal, to the intensification of the personal, to the personal exponentialized. Take your most personal moment that you ever experienced in the world, the most beautiful, gorgeous, stunning personal moment in which, oh my God, right, goodness and truth and beauty were alive, and intimacy and eros and ecstasy were all happening. Take that moment and realize that when you exponentialize it, right, you realize that moment participates in the larger personhood of cosmos that knows your name. That's God. That's the infinity of intimacy that holds us in every second, that hears every word we speak, just like I could hear Christina Amelon talking. Right? You think I could hear Christina Amelon talking and the infinity of intimacy couldn't? That which allows me to hear Christina Amelon aren't just my physical ears, they're my quality of intelligence and consciousness and intimacy. So my quality of intelligence, consciousness, and intimacy, this is called the pointing out instruction, what we're doing. My quality of intelligence, consciousness, and intimacy, right, participates in the field of intelligence, consciousness, and intimacy, which just like I have a quality of personhood, the field has a quality of personhood and hears every word that Christina Amelon says. Right, so wow, that's the most personal, most intimate. That's God who's our lover, our mad beloved, God who is our outrageous lover that cares desperately about every jot and tittle, every dimension, every detail. And we come before the infinity of intimacy, who knows our name, and we say, lover, can I share with you everything? Can I please tell you everything? Can I tell you everything? Can I share with you my holy and my broken hallelujah? Leonard Cohen, coming at you, right? The holy and the broken hallelujah.
Now I've heard there was a secret chord that David played and it pleased the Lord. But you don't really care for music, do you? It goes like this: the fourth, the fifth, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffled king composing hallelujah. Hallelujah. I took the name in vain. I don't even know the name, but if I did, well really, what's it to you? There's a blaze of light in every word. It doesn't matter which you heard, the holy or the broken. Hallelujah. I did my best. It wasn't much. I couldn't feel. So I tried to touch. I've told the truth. I didn't come to fool you. And even though it all went wrong, I'll stand before the Lord of song
Around the
with
world.
nothing on my tongue but hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Barbara's going to take us inside to our code. I just want to look at the code, right? Hallelujah, right? For a second, right after we do prayer. But now we got to gather prayers. Okay, before we hear Barbara, before we go to Power Hungry, let's just feel the power of prayer. So we go to the chat box and we ask for everything. We literally ask for everything, right? So here we go, right? I pray, right? I pray, and every prayer matters. I pray, says Linda, right? The breath of life fill my being, right? Jacqueline, I pray to feel, right? Feel her, see her, know her, be her. And Jacqueline, I know she wrote you a couple times this week, right? I can feel her writing you, right? Every word, right? Oh my God, Claire, praying for a strong, right, and healthy body, right? Yes, Zohar, right? Beloved, infinite intimacy to restore my sleep pattern in my health so I can be powerful in your service, right? And all along the way, right? We're with you all the way. Suzette, I pray for my daddy, right, who passed away this past Tuesday, to move forward with love. And so everyone can do the same in this lifetime shot. I pray for peace in people's hearts, right? These holidays, right? Raquel, I pray to know, right, how to serve. And Raquel, we're so excited to partner with you this year, and on so many levels, right? Raquel, Shahati, right? Krista, right? I pray to find the clarity of my heart's desire and to make everyday matters show up for the evolution of love. Amen. Right? Nathan, I pray everyone, right, have the clarity of their deepest heart's desire and trust those desires, right? The clarification of desire, and then go all the way with it. Hans, right? I pray for a safe and quick place where I can do my healing, a safe and quiet place. Hans, brother. Yes, Simona, I pray for my brother to feel, Fabio, that he's held in love, and for every human being in pain to feel the tender, fierce love that holds them, right? Yes, right, Liraz, I'm praying for all the people who struggle with their health, right? Chris, right, I pray for mad good health, right? Whole health, wholeness. Diego, right? David, I pray for the wisdom and courage to focus my power towards the highest good in my life. Diego, praying for the smooth rehabilitation of my mother, right? Peace in our hearts. Oriana, I pray for a world to know that it's one love, it's one world, it's one heart, right? All the way, right? Nothing left out. right? Don Pett, right? I still pray for a call, right? And Don is praying for that call, and he knows when it's coming. He knows when it's coming, right? Right? Amen. Right? As we get the church up and running, right? Right? And so we talk before we do the relaunch, for sure. Cannot wait for that with total delight. Ulrike, right? I asked to find my unique transformation again and again. Inaka, I pray for empathy and patience for the sake of all. Ger, right? I pray Inaka, Paul, I pray Ger, I pray for the power to walk through fear and pain. Right? We're always walking through fear and pain, right? To joy and intimacy and abundance, right? Linda, Christine, right? Steve, right? Christine, I pray for peace in my heart. Steve, I pray that we'll declare the story of love to our families and friends who are politically traumatized, right? And polarized, right? So, right, we're taking all of this, taking all of this beauty, we're taking all of these prayers, and we're literally lifting it, right? Lifting it to the sky and impressing it on the lips of God, right? So here's the code. I'm just going to read it once. We're going to hear Barbara, and then we're going to take it all the way home together. And this is our moment, right? In the last 10 minutes of church, after we hear Barbara sets the stage, we're going to each of us claim power together. We're going to claim the power of our unique self-symphony, but our individual power. Here's the code. Our narrative of power is directly emergent from our narrative of identity, which is directly emergent from our universe story, right? Each one of those words is like, wow, power is a divine elixir. Power is a nectar. It's not poison. There are three forms of power. The first two forms of power are power over and power for. And I'll talk about those a little later. But I'm just reading the code now. Contrary to the popular understanding, which deifies, I mean, it says power for is beautiful and demonizes power over. Actually, both power for and power over, both are holy. Again, we'll talk about this in a few minutes. I want to hear from Barbara first, right? Barbara. The third form of power is the power of transformation. And all three forms of power are inextricable from each other, three faces of the one. So I'm going to now call on you, Barbara. And Barbara, we're in Christmas holidays, just about. These are the weeks where the church is coming together, ready in the new year, right, for the resurrection, for the next stage. And Barbara, you and I always talked about the resurrection, and we believed in this one church with all our hearts and souls, and we gave everything to it, together with our awesome set of colleagues and friends and students and team. Right? And this meant so much to you. And you're now in the continuity of consciousness. And sometimes in the middle of the week, I turn to you and I talk to you, right? And we're so deep in, and you're so deep in with us, and I miss you. I miss you. And I'm so glad you're here with us every week, and I'm so glad you're in our hearts. And I just, God, what are you doing there? What are you doing on the journey? Oh my God, I want to know, right? I want to know everything that's going on, right? I'm so happy to turn the word, right, to beloved, my beloved evolutionary partner, right, Barbara Marx Hubbard. So we turn.
Our narrative of power. So your narrative of power, my narrative of power, our prayers, our narrative of power directly emerges from our narrative of identity. So let's, each of us now, as we're expressing our narrative of power, feel the new identity that we are as homo amor, that we are when we know, here's the next line of the code, that we are directly emergent from our universe story. What does that really mean for you and me to be directly emergent from our universe story? I'll tell you what it means for me. I quickly take a perspective on the whole billions of years of evolution as a spiral. I quickly look at the core of the spiral as what Mark calls allurement in Wheel 2.0. And I bring the impulse of allurement that is guiding the universe story directly into my heart as my impulse of allurement that is now empowered with the power of the impulse of creation, which I am. So here's the next thing of the code. Power is a divine elixir, nectar, and not poison. there are three forms of power. The first two forms of power are power over and power for, and then there's power of. Let's take them all incarnate as the impulse of evolution coming from source, from spirit, from the mind of God, through the Big Bang, through the incredible genius of single cell to multi-cell to animal to human, to you and me in the church of evolutionary love, incarnating the power of universal story, of universe story. Contrary to the popular understanding, which deifies power for and demonizes power over, both forms of power are holy. So here's what I see there. If I am, if you are, if we are expressions of universal impulse of creation as us, and that impulse has direction toward more love, more creativity, and more genius. That has, first of all, power within me. And I am deifying the power of expression as me, of that power, both personally to express fully who I am, and then to be a component and lover of everybody else doing it. Because only through love of each other, what is called here outrageous love or evolutionary love, can any one of us incarnate the awesome nature of this power. If you try to do it all by yourself alone as homo amor, well, you won't make it. But if you feel you're part of a field which is itself arising from the whole universe story through every one of us uniquely, then of course our prayers are that power of universe praying. You're not praying all by yourself. Even though it's totally personal, it's totally cosmic. And so let's end with the church itself being a place for the collective asking. And let's ask now to conclude this, Mark, as homo amor.
Absolutely.
I'm going to ask as homo amor, dear God, what is the best thing that homo amor as a small group can do to release the love, the creativity, and the genius upon this planet in time to avoid devolution and extinction, dear God? What I'm getting is God says every single member of the church recognizes the codes inside themselves. And they ask exactly how to respond to exactly what you're facing. And let God reveal it and share it with your journal and with, if you can possibly have a field of one other. Like I could share with Mark, even though he can be pretty abrasive. I could share with him because he might not agree with me. But if I dare to share with him, in the feeling of tenderness and vulnerability, I can be sure that he will receive it. Find someone that you can share exactly what God told you when it really hurts. It might be embarrassing for you to even reveal it. And through that acceptance of God and the shared field of two or more, you've got a resonant field, then bring it into the church, which is the largest resonant field of evolutionary love we know on earth. So when you pray it in the church, it's more than praying it all by yourself on a walk or even with one other person that you trust. And we say hallelujah when eyes have seen the glory of homo amore coming forth for the very first time in the Church of Evolutionary Love. Thank you.
And how do we contribute to this, Bob?
And we contribute to this exact frequency of prayer, personally, socially, collectively as a church. What contribution can you make? Can I make? Can we make to bring this to the world just in time for the planetary awakening to happen rather than the devolution and extinction? Is that important? Thank you.
Yeah. And we move into contribution. And I want to ask everyone, as Barbara did every week, to actually contribute, right? To actually contribute every month, do $50 a month, right? I'm doing $1,000 a month, right? Barbara did $2,000 a month when she was with us, right? Contribute, right? The expense of churches, the expense of joy. And with each contribution, we can up-level. The church revolution happens. It's at the moment when you decide to make the effort, right, to actually go create a recurring contribution that actually happens every month, that gives the church the stability to flow, to rise. In Hebrew, Barbara and I talked about this a lot. The word for money is kesef. And kesef means K-E-S-E-F. It means yearning. Where your real yearning is, where you actually put down some change, right? So I did it every month. I do it every month. Barbara did it every month. Just now, I'm going to take us the next step in power with your permission, everyone, picking up from Barbara's word, picking up from our code. But as we do it, right, make that contribution, make it real. That's power. The power is to actually find it in your body, go through it, translate it, so we can raise this boat. We can rise up together, right, and make this revolution. Let's talk about power. Friends, let's talk about power. We know what it feels like to be powerless, right? To be powerless means I'm disconnected from the field. Everyone get that sentence? Here's the sentence. To be powerless means, and maybe someone can pick it up and put it in the chat box, right? To be powerless means, it's one sentence, I'm disconnected from the field, and I'm alone. To be broken means I'm disconnected from the field. Claire, Shah, right? Let's find it there, right? Like, thank you. Right? To be powerful means I'm in the field. Power means I'm in the field. Power means I'm accessing in my body the unique expression of the field's power, right? Yearning to emerge through me. Now we're afraid of power. So we have, number one, we have power for, and Joyce, you talked earlier about the power of, we'll get to it, right? First, power for, it's power for the sake of the evolution of love. Right? Power for the sake, right, of creating this one church, many paths, one mountain, to bring this new story at this time between dystopia and utopia. But it's more than that. Do you realize that we also have power over? I have power over you, and you have power over me, and we have power over each other, right? And when we realize that, and we can realize we're actually deepest friends already, and we can trust each other. And this is the sentence, Joyce, I wanted to give you this sentence, love, right? There's power of transformation. We're going to get to that. But we also have to recognize that we trust each other to wield power over each other. Because to be in a relationship is to have power over each other. And to hold our power tenderly, to tremble with our power, but to be aware of it. If a person who's not aware of their power is not trustable. We all have power over each other. So I want to speak of your love in the morning, and I want to trust you in the night. There is no power without trust, and there's no love without trust. So I trust you to allow me to surrender to you. You know what true intimacy is? True intimacy is when I allow my beloved to witness my surrender, right? And to surrender takes the greatest power of all. To have enough power that I can give up the surface power, I can give up the ego power, and live in the true authenticity of my genuine power. And my genuine power is the power of transformation. I have the power to transform myself. I have the power to be a unique incarnation of more God to come. I have the power to realize my power, to realize that I'm in the field of power, and to realize that reality needs my power. Needs my power. And this is one of the areas in which the sexual models the erotic. Right? In the sexual, right, we play with power with our beloved. We surrender. We completely surrender our power. We give up all control. And yet we're also fully claiming power, right? The power of desire directed gorgeously moving through us. But the sexual only models eros. We actually want to be in eros. We want to be in our power in every dimension of reality. In every moment, there's a choice. And the choice is, do I love the moment open? Do I love the moment open, or does I allow the moment to love me open? Let me say it again. Do I love the moment open? Do I allow the moment to love me open? To allow the moment to love me open is to open up, literally to spread my heart, and to receive the full thrust of the power of the moment in me as it blows my heart open. And then as the moment blows my heart open, right? You hear this? As the moment blows my heart open, then power courses through me, and I then return that power to the moment, right? I love the moment open, right? I fuck the moment open, right? I fiercely, tenderly kiss the moment open, right? I caress the moment open. I pour my mind into the moment, my heart, my body, my soul, and the moment loves open and gives birth to a newness, to an intimacy, to a goodness, right? To a desire that's unmatched in reality. And I might love the moment open by giving $50 a month to church. I might love the moment open by adopting a child. I might love the moment open by asking forgiveness where I was afraid to. I might love the moment open by claiming my gift, right, and giving my unique gift. I might love the moment open by coming to the summer festival. I might love the moment open by stepping up, right, and giving my blessing in the world and realizing the power of blessing moves through me. And I do it in ways that are not always easy. I do it by standing in places where it's hard to stand. I do it by bringing in split off parts of myself, by taking the people that I've read out of the circle and taking them back into the circle. I claim my power by giving up being right, right? And then when I give up being right, then I stand in the integrity of my beliefs and my trust and my knowing in an entirely different way. Power moves through me, okay? So I want to make a claim here, okay? And I want to invite you for 1 second in our last couple of minutes to the chat box. And here's the claim. I am power. Right? I am power. Who's willing to say that? I am power. And it's with capitals. I am power. I've got to claim my power. Raquel, I am power. Hans, I am power. Joyce, I am Simona. I am power. Right? I am power. Feel the power coursing through you and feel the vulnerability of power and feel the elixir, the nectar of power. There's something in this world, Inika, Diego, right? Linda, Simona, Zohar, right? Literally, Joyce, I am power. Now, I want to go the next step, and this is a hard one. You got to get over this kind of liberal rejection of power and failure to distinguish between the abuse of power and the elixir of power. So ready? I am power hungry. And who's willing to write that? Like all the way. Who's willing to go all the way? I'm power hungry for holy power, right? I am power hungry. And it's of course true. I'm power hungry, right? I am power hungry, right? I am power hungry. I'm hungry. I'm desperate for power, right? I don't want to feel powerless. I want to actually access the full glory. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of Homo Amor. And Homo Amor is power, right? The fullness of power. Homo Amor is political power. Homo Amor is financial power. But more than anything, Homo Amor is the power of integrity. Unshakable integrity, unshakable love. It's the power of outrageous love. Love is not weak. Love is strong, right? Jimi Hendrix, Holy Brother, the power of love does not contradict the love of power. Power and love are the same. They're the inside and the outside of the same. So I claim my power, but I claim my power. I don't hijack my power. You get it? When I claim power for me only, Joyce, and it becomes an abuse of power over, I've hijacked the power of the field and narcissistically tried to claim it as my own, and I'm always then crushed by my own power. But when I actually let the power of the field move through me, when I'm transparent to the power of the field, then the power of the field awakens uniquely of me in a joy that's unparalleled, and a love that surpasseth understanding. And the word moves in me, and power moves in me, and people are allured to me, and I give my gifts, and the world opens, and there's no desperation. There's the flow of power, right? The infinity of power, which is divinity, moves intimately, right, and gorgeously in me, right? Oh my God, right? Our church, our one church, which is moving to Sunday morning in the beginning of January, which is relaunching, which is, we're claiming our power. We're saying we're not going to wait for somebody else to evolve the source code, right, Steve? It's ours to do, brother. It's ours to do. I'm waiting to hear from you again. It's ours to do, right? And we're going to contribute. We're going to contribute funds, and we're going to contribute time, and we're going to contribute creativity. We're going to contribute, most of all, right, the radical presence of our flaming hearts, right? That's our biggest contribution in life. It's the radical presence of your flaming heart. Right? So you know what I want? I want to give you the radical presence of my flaming heart. I want to receive the radical presence of your flaming heart. Our hearts are aflame. They're aflame with the power to love open reality in a way that each of us can do uniquely, and we become the new chapter, right, in the story of reality. We are the new chapter and verse in the love story of reality uniquely. I can never write your verse, Nathan. Your verse can never be written by Mark. Barbara can never write Medea's verse, right? Christina Amelon can never write Suzette's verse, right? You get that? Right? Claire Molinaire, right, can never write Shot's verse, and Shot can never write Claire Molinaire's verse, right? Power, the gorgeousness, Utz, Ger, the gorgeousness, Oriana's power at your altar, unparalleled. We look in each other's eyes and we say, oh my God, how deep is your love, right? How deep is your love? We end there. We end with that holy song, with that holy chant, right? Right? Be my air. Let your power be my air. Let me roam the body of your heart. No inhibition, no fear. Take us inside, right? Christina Amelon, Suzette, Hans, David, who's ever taken us inside, take us inside to how deep is your love. And let's love it open like we never did before. Oh my God, reality needs our power.